guys, my name is Christine and I will be with you live for today's session. It's lovely to be here and it's getting up to Christmas week, so I'm sure you're all preparing for things. So today's question is to describe a situation where you convince someone. So it's quite interesting that Christmas is coming along because we usually convince our parents to buy us some gifts. So it might be that, or it might be a different situation, of course, a more serious situation. But I look forward to hearing about the situation that you've chosen, where you've convinced someone, and I'd like to know how you convinced them. What techniques did you use, and why was it so important to convince them? And what happened at the end of this, or after you did convince them, eventually, what transpired? So let's start off with Ananya. Ananya, can you please introduce yourself first? Tell us a bit about your day and what you're doing to prepare for Christmas, and then move on to today's question.
Yeah, hi Christine. Hi everyone. Good evening. My name is Ananya, and I'm currently pursuing my post-graduation and MBA from ICFI Business School, Hyderabad. And my day was good because I just returned from my home to college to attend the classes, and my classes were pretty normal. And as exams are over, but we have assignments lined up, so we are working on it. There are so many projects I have to work on with, so and that was pretty much from the academic side. Else I miss my family. I'll be visiting them next week. And for the Christmas, there is a comedy show. I have, I love stand-up comedy. So I have booked tickets for a comedy show. And that's it. We'll just have a little get together in our family next week in the Christmas, and we'll have good food. I think that's how we Indians celebrate Christmas pretty much. And we'll decorate some gifts and Christmas tree, obviously, because without that, I don't think so Christmas is ever successful. So, yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. So can you tell us to the situation that you've chosen where you've convinced someone to do something, or whatever this thing was? You convinced someone of something.
Yes. So I have two situations. Specifically, I would mention that because we do not have any specific thing that we have to describe that situation particularly. So there is a personal situation where I already have mentioned, right, and Christine, that I am not from the business background. I am currently doing my MBA, but I did my graduation in arts, English literature. And my parents really, especially my mom, really wanted me to work in a government sector. Obviously, Indian families usually think that, the government sector is very secure, and you do a less work, but you get paid so much. And there is no fear of any inflation or anything in the government sector because it has reserves. So based on security, they really wanted me to go for government service, but I didn't want to because I eventually, when I was doing my graduation, I came to know that this business corporate life has been booming, and I think I would be a great fit for it. And I'll definitely I didn't have that interest, but after researching a lot about it, I really got interested in it. And I thought, okay, pursuing MBA is the only thing I can do right now for myself, which would be really beneficial for my personal growth as well as professional growth. But my parents were very reluctant to let me go for the MBA. So I took near about, I think, 3 to 4 months, as far as I remember, just to convince them that, this is how my life is going to be. So you have to support me because at the end of the day, definitely need my mom's advice and help to get where I am today. So I really needed a help. I explained her whatever I researched about MBA, and that was pretty much how she got that idea about MBA and what my daughter is going to do in that field and how it works, how the corporate life works. So it took a lot of time. I guess that's too much, 4 months to convince for a postgraduate degree. But I think that was quite a journey because you have to discover new things and you have to let them know that, these all things are going on in this world and this is how the sector is booming. Then this is a very beneficial thing for me. So I can do it and I have the talent. I can definitely go for a good result. So yes, this is how I convince them and see how I'm sitting in a MBA college right now. Also, when it comes to professional level, we have to deal with so many collaborators. So we have clubs over here in our college, and we have different clubs when events are lined up. Then we have to convince so many collaborators to collaborate with our club, and we promote their items or whatever service they are providing. So that becomes a challenge because you have to pick out the best people, those who can talk, those who can convince them to. And I think convincing is really a art, because how you convince people, that shows you are brilliant in something. You have that caliber to know what the other person wants and how you predict it, and you just put it in your words. I think that's how I have done two collaborations with other people, and they have really liked our work, and they have been convinced and had worked with us. So yes, in return we had promoted them, but this is how it goes. But I think in the collaboration field, and convincing generally comes everywhere you go, everywhere, even to buy something in a shop, you convince that person that, give a discount of this thing, then we could buy one or two more items from you. So this is how I think this is a part of life. But to master it, I think you have to do it again and again. And as we are the business professional, we are going to be a part of corporate, we have to have that inculcated in ourselves, so that it would really help us in near future. Because I think that is very important. People should listen to you. That's how it works. Convincing works when people listen to you. So you have to make sure that people listen to you. Whatever you say is direct to the point, and also should benefit them also. So I think that's how it works.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ananya.
Thank you.
Okay, next we will move on to Aksha. Aksha, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your day?
Good evening, ma'am. So, myself, Aksha, currently pursuing my MBA from IBS Hyderabad, and I had class today, and many assignments lined up. Group projects are there, so I
Mhm.
am going to be busy in this week actually, and yeah, that's all. Like, I did nothing like much today. Just attended the classes. So, about the question, convincing, like, actually, we do that daily, I think, convincing someone. I have many experience about convincing. When I did my internship in like Ramoji Film City, I did. So there my job was to control the crowd actually. So I want to guide them, like, don't like I have to like 5,000 or 10,000 people should go here. They should go there. I will get orders from my seniors. So I
Mhm.
have to convince them, don't like the show will be full and we can't express that is full, because then the conflict occurs there, like they will say we also paid and this that. Like that a conflict occurs there, so I can't say openly this show is full, you can't go now. But I have to convince them in a way that just have to divert them to another work or another show or a trip or a bus tour, any kind of thing. So daily I used to convince like 20-25,000 people will come there, and I have to divert them and convince. Sometimes literally it becomes hard to convince some people. Like some people will be like really rigid. They want
Mhm.
to do that, then they want to do that. If there is a waiting hour of 2 hours also, they want to wait. And at last they come back and say like we didn't saw many shows, we missed that, we missed this, we are paying for this. So there I literally learned the convincing skills actually, because
And what convincing skills did you use?
like I must be calm actually. whatever they say, I used to be calm, quiet, and I will be like, that is better, and you will get more benefited, you will save your time and money. Like we used to convince like that. Like there only that was there for me to convince them. Or this show's better, your kid will like, your mom will like, or your wife and you will enjoy there, like that. According to the person, we used to change the dialogues. Actually, we can't say anything, we can't make our face, we must be smiling always, and we must be stay calm. So that kind of things I learned. And we have to maintain our body language, anything, like as in we are okay with what they are doing, but we must make them do what we want to do them. Like in friend, it is their mind.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much, Aksha. Thank you. Okay, next we will move on to Rushan. Rushan, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your day? Rushan? Hello? Hello, Rushan? I think we're having a bit of an issue. Rushan, can you try again? I think we have a bit of an issue there. So let's start with Rajshri. Kashri. Rajshri, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your day?
Hello everyone, good evening. Actually, I'm Rajshri from Bihar and I am doing work in under NCW. So it was a normal day because today is Monday. So the women, so much women was there for the new cases and everything. So that's all. It was the hectic day actually, and convincing the convince people. Yeah, today's topic. Yeah.
Excellent.
So,
So
yeah,
today's topic is to tell us about a time, you know, to describe a situation where you convinced someone.
yeah. Actually, I am the counselor under
Mhm,
NCW, so I know how much how much the variations of the thinking, how much the people mm, how they think for their own situations, own problems, how they doing with their problems, with their
mhm,
happy moods or their bad moods, for everything. So I know the people, mood swings, and everything. So because I am working from last after my internship, during my internship, actually, I'm doing my job. So it was paid for me. So I am doing work under them. So it is the 3 years of my job under NCW. So I know the psychological skills needs psychological skills, na? The thinking of the people, what they think, how they think, what things created in their mind, the level of the thinking actually, na? How much they think, how less they think. So that all the thinking I know. So I am expert in the family counseling and the everything. So today nowadays I am doing with legal laws and everything. So I know the convincing the people and everything, but the biggest thing is that you convince everyone professionally and everywhere convince every people because they are not connected with you because they are professional. But the main convincing is the personal level, on the personal level actually, means how much you convince the people for your own life or own discussion or your own choices, wishes, for everything. So a simple very unusual thing that's happened in my life when I purchased a scooty. That time my father was not allowing me, my whole family was not allowing me for the purchasing scooty due to loan and everything. They only want safety. they only want for safety, just for me. Like you are living single in your city, so how will you manage after the accident and everything?
Mm-hmm.
But uh, before that, I convinced everyone for this, and I practical done everything. I showed every video of my riding and everything. After that, I convinced everyone for this, and I collect so few money for that for vehicle. And after that, I took some loan from the EMI on the EMI, and from very few money from my parents also, because I want to convince, I want to prove myself for my own wish. That's all.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Rashri.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, next we will move on to Pulumi Chatterjee.
Yeah,
Okay, so can you introduce yourself, briefly tell us what you did with your day, and move on to today's question, please?
my name is Paulami Chatterjee, and I had like a normal day today. I had my classes, and I had some class participation and all that stuff happened in the class. I came back by 6 p.m. It
Mhm.
was a regular day as well, and talking about the topic today is like how, like, talking about an incident where we need to convince other people, right? So convincing is a part of our day to day activity. Like, we convince ourselves, we convince people to do something, be it doing a task, or letting other help in convincing ourselves to do some other people's work. Like, 90% of the tasks are based on convincing. And as I'm a student, so my 50% of the things are based on convincing, be it my friends, or be it any people who are a part of my life. So there are many incidents, I can't focus on one, but it's a normal thing for a student or a person to do that. So that's all.
Okay, so you can't think of a particular instance when you convinced, say, maybe your parents or someone else of something. Can you think of, do you have a specific example that you can recall?
Yeah, I can talk about one. While I was working with Wipro,
Mm-hmm.
and I needed a leave, a 7 days leave to celebrate this, like, New Year.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow my team lead was not allowing me to have 7 days long leave. I somehow convinced him by doing all the nonsense excuses, and thankfully I got the approval, and I had a great New Year that year.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Pulumi.
Thank you, Christine.
Okay, next we will move on to Gayatri. Hi, Gayatri.
Hi, Christine. Good evening.
Good evening. So, Gayatri, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your day first?
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Gayatri Rajiv. I'm from Kerala, India. And I'm currently pursuing my post-graduation degree, that is MBA,
Mhm.
from IGBI Business School, that is in Hyderabad. And my day, it was pretty normal. Nothing special happened. We had classes from morning till evening. Then I have again events coming up. So since I'm a part of cultural club of the college, I was doing my dance practice right now. So I'm in between that. That's it. Nothing really happened special.
Excellent. Okay. So, can you tell us of a time where you've convinced someone?
This is a normal thing that we do every day.
Mhm.
Having said that, I'll say something that has happened very recently and which is very funny that so our exams got over very lately, and we got our papers also. So in one paper, one subject, my marks was less than what was expected. So normally they don't give papers to for us to check and everything. So I went to ma'am and I asked that I want to see that. So she gave me. And the person who evaluated was another faculty. And when I checked, the answers were right, but he hasn't given the full marks. So I wanted to know why, why I haven't gotten marks in in that particular question. So I consulted with the faculty. I asked him like, what is the reason? So he just said me that he's not satisfied. So yeah, I had to put in a lot of effort to convince him actually to give me that full marks, and yeah, at last I won. He gave me marks for that. So that is a very recent thing that happened.
Excellent. Very
Now,
good.
if you ask me how I convinced, even I don't know, I did whatever possible in the world I did for like 0.5 or 2 marks. That's it.
You have no idea how you did that. Okay, if you think
And
about
not at
it,
all.
if you can think, okay, so reflecting on it now, reflecting back on it, what do you think it was? What do you think it could have been?
I think the point, whatever you are saying, is valid. If it is facts that see, the thing is here also what happened was he couldn't find any point to say that my answer was wrong, whereas I had held number of points to quote that okay it was right. I could underline and show him. So if your points are valid when you convince, then yeah, it works. If there are facts to add to it, uh, that way.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. Very good. And how important was it for you, and how did what transpired at the end? How did you feel after all this?
I felt so good. I was proud of myself actually. Because here, point 1, 0.5 marks can get you a B grade instead of A. So it
Excellent.
was very important for me. See, convincing skill is actually required for anyone. In life also, it is required. You will have to convince a lot of people to succeed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very good. Okay, next we
Yeah.
have Lijul. Hi, Lijul.
Hello, Christine. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Lijul, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your day first?
For sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Lijal Mahapatra, and I'm currently pursuing my MBA from ICFI Business School, Hyderabad. And apologies for the background. I was actually like it was a pretty normal day for me, and currently I'm my dance practice as well. The few of the events are lined up in this month, and yeah, it's going a bit hectic now. My lazy days are over. Got my nice few break and back to the business, I'll say.
Excellent, very good. Okay, so can you tell us of a time where you've convinced someone?
Like for convincing skill, I can say that right now I feel I got a very good position that requires a lot of convincing skills, I'll say. For the upcoming event of my club, I was made the POC for sponsorship. So apparently, I had to get money for the event, and it was one of like I have been doing this work from a long time now, but it has always surprised me how different it feels every time you do it. And convincing someone to give, let alone anything, let alone money to you for mostly your profit. We do butter up, we do say things that they're gonna have a profit, but marginally it's always not with that true. You do not get that much of profit that you do expect out of these things. But then convincing people to invest their money, their time, and their efforts on something like this, it's always be a very difficult task. Like for example, you have to mold your conversation according to what you are like thinking, what the other person is probably gonna say. And that is the thing, it sometimes it's pretty difficult sometimes to get into people's head and know what is that they're exactly expecting. So what I generally do is I let them have like I make them feel that they are the anchors of the ship. Let them
Mhm.
drive the ship, and along with the way, I'll have my way around and try to pull off strings for myself. Like
Very
that is
smart.
how, like, make them feel that it is not me, it is you. It is you who are thinking about. We are just in the back end, just supporting a good cause. We are doing things, but it is actually you, because if we start saying about ourselves, people don't give any heed to it. They do not why would anybody want to help you in this world? So we have to make them show their own profit, their own business. And they suddenly come up with this question, and how do you gonna do this, how do you gonna do that? So sometimes it's very difficult to come up with the right answer. I generally do, I ask them, what do you want me to do? Like, what do you want, expect us from to it is comparatively a little bit easier if you get to know what the people is expecting from you. Then you would actually form your answers accordingly, and you can deliver what they actually want to hear, because people would only like to hear what they actually want to hear, pleasing to their ears. So yeah, I'm
Excellent.
learning a lot of convincing skills now. So yeah, it's a pretty good experience, I'll say.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you very much, Joe.
Thank you, Christine.
Okay. Do we have Arush? Arush, are you here? Arush? No, we don't have Arush. Okay, so let's move on to Sangram. Last but not least, Sangram, can you introduce yourself, please, and move on to today's question? Hello, Sangram.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Can you introduce yourself and move on to today's question, please?
So, myself, Sangram, living in Mumbai, working as an HR with
Hello? Hello?
just a normal day. I went to market.
Hi, Sangram.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Sangram. Can you introduce yourself and move on to today's question, please?
I was saying that myself, Sangram, living
Mm-hmm.
in Mumbai, working as an HR recruiter. So, my day was just a normal day for me. So,
Mm-hmm.
I went to the office, then I did my work, and I'm returning back home.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And today's question. So, can you tell us a bit of the time where you last convinced someone to do something, a situation where you convinced someone?
Like, in, they have done from small child, from childhood till now, as we are students. Sometimes students try to convince teachers for some or the other things. As an adult, we also convince our parents to get us something what we require. So we
Okay.
do. It is from childhood. We can say everyone tries to convince for some or the other thing to the parents or teachers.
Okay. And what techniques did you use to convince them?
Right? As you are a small child, if you want any chocolate or anything, then the child would cry to get the thing. Or
Okay.
like if you want to watch TV now also if you want to watch TV, like in my house, children, the small children means they come and say that our home means small children from neighbors. So until they have finished their homework or anything, that we don't give them chocolate. They come to take chocolate from our dad. The dad asks them that have you done your homework or not? If not, you will not be getting the chocolate. So they will complete the work, they will come to dad, and then dad will give the chocolate. So that's the thing. So if we give them task, if they complete it, then they are rewarded. But they then also try to convince like small children, like they that will do the later, give the chocolate. They try to convince dad or parents like
Okay.
that. In office also like we are HR. So we try to convince the student, candidate or employer regarding the salary and all. So
Okay.
we also do like convincing things in office also.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sangram.
Thank
Um,
you.
Well, guys, thank you for sharing your experiences of convincing people today. I've really appreciated all your openness and your experiences. Thank you for sharing. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, and I hope you have a lovely evening. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
Christine. Bye bye.
Bye.